Hand Up Cooperative is an organization, a nonprofit organization that helps people who are either at risk of being homeless or already homeless.
It's really a lot more than just helping somebody find a job. It's giving them skills that they can use forever and that they can build on these skills forever.
The people that are so friendly, I mean, they don't look down on you, they look up at you.
Hand Up Cooperative fills a need in the community. It's the missing piece.
It brings employees to companies that can really make a difference in the company, but what a difference it makes in the lives of those individuals.
Any organization, the heart of its success is the folks that work there, and we are blessed to have a very successful and very capable executive director in Daniel Covey.
I encounter people in my office who, through a sad turn of events, find themselves without housing and without employment. But many of these people have amazing skills and experience and perspectives that if we don't invite them back in to be contributing members of our society, we as a community are losing out.
I got involved really as a result of conversation with Sister Mary Alice.
It's having somebody walk with you on a rough road and pointing out to you what are the ways that you can make your life better and what are the things you need to do to improve your situation so that you can move on. There were not that many agencies concentrating on helping people to become employed.
There are a number of services that make the experience of being homeless more livable, but that aren't truly addressing the root causes of homelessness.
There are a number of stereotypes that you often run into. One is that people are homeless by choice. Another is that the work ethic really is not strong for these people.
I'm sorry to say, many people, when they think of somebody who's homeless, envisions the shaggy, dirty guy on the street who's drinking out of a paper bag.
They are folks just like you and me, people who just simply need a hand up. Good folks.
They are people with skills, with education, who have a lot of talents.
So many people have the idea that homeless people are shiftless and don't want a job, and that's not true. But they often have difficulty getting to the first fruits because they're not primed as to how to access it.
Imagine if you don't have the personal resources or the educational resources even that I have. Hand Up can help with that.
Some of the things that Hand Up does is teach soft skills that some people do not have. What do you do when you get angry on the job? And how do you handle your anger? And how do you budget so that you stretch the dollars that you do have? How do you increase your education so that you can be more employable than you currently are?
We see so many people who, despite their many talents and dedication, are struggling to be successful in their job search.
And I was actually getting interviews. I got a couple of interviews. I thought they went well, and I didn't get the jobs.
I went into this thinking, well, there's nothing that they can do to help me. I know everything about this. Working with Hand Up Cooperative got me to look at things a different way.
First off, he asked me if how my resume was, if I had a resume. I said yes, I did. The ones I was handing out to other companies I was going to. I showed him my resume and he said, yeah, it needed a lot of work.
It was the practice interview that I did with Daniel that really helped. He asked me some questions, things that I hadn't thought of.
They offered me a nice dress pants, shirt, and all that stuff that I needed for the interviews, stuff that I didn't have, that I couldn't afford.
When Ken came in to interview, he was as professional and polished as any person that I've interviewed for such a position.
And I was one of the 3 people that was interviewed for this particular job.
He sat down, walked into the room with confidence. He sat down, he answered the questions directly.
And I got the job. I got the second interview.
Just about 90% of the people that complete our program are successful at gaining work.
I got the job after that practice interview with him.
I got this job probably 2 weeks after I started with Hand Up. Hand Up, I think, is the greatest thing that ever happened.
Part of what we do on the front end is to try and pre-screen all of the participants we work with.
They're going to make sure that the worker is good for the partner company and that the partner company is good to the worker.
We want to really try to get a good sense of where our participants are, where are their skills, so that when we do present our participants to partner businesses, that it's a good skill match.
The model offers the best option in order to find people. I pay one check every 2 weeks to Hand Up Cooperative, and it takes care of all of the taxes, the workman's comp, and so on. All those things go to make it as low cost a process as I think as is possible.
You know, often in these situations you're able to avoid costly turnover because you're able to hire people that really want the job and really want to change their lives.
And we have indicators of that where a person has been employed that did not have a job, and because of their gratitude, they worked extra hard to the point they became Employee of the Year.
And being able to work with someone who really is positive and making a difference, I think has a ripple effect throughout an organization and makes it a better place to work.
Every step of the process with Hand Up was exactly as outlined. I interviewed one person, he was the right person for the job, and we were able to bring him on.
Hand Up is a local nonprofit, and it fills a need because it helps people help themselves. It helps people get off of some social services. So ultimately, it helps taxpayers and it helps the economy of Fort Collins.
It's just a win-win proposition.
We also have a vision for the Hand Up Cooperative in which we develop a social enterprise.
A business that we could employ some of the homeless folks.
So that they can obviously put some cash in their pocket, stabilize themselves financially, but also to gain some current work experience, gain a reference.
What if we had multiple Hand Up cooperatives across the country that would help people to gain employment and get back into the job market? That could do a lot to help to solve the economic issues that we're all facing.
I think if we were really able to bring different people from the community around this issue, we would find some great success in moving forward and helping people move beyond homelessness and poverty.
We're all connected. What we do to one affects the other in our community.
Homelessness is like a cancer. You don't often see it when it's getting started, but then it'll manifest itself if nothing is done about it, and it will get worse.
We get a lot of sales pitches in this world today, and I think we have to glean through those to find the ones that really do make a difference. And in my mind, Hand Up Cooperative is one of those that is at the top.
When you're donating to Hand Up Cooperative, you're not just donating money to a cause, you are really investing in somebody's future.
We have placed more than 50 people over the course of the last year into jobs and really made significant changes in their lives.
That in turn increases the productivity of a city. It increases people's ability to feel like they belong, that they can do something worthwhile.
When you give to Hand Up Cooperative and it enables one more person to get a job locally, that's one more taxpayer in our community, one more consumer in our community.
I'm pleased to say that well over 95% of those donations are being able to be used to help place people and help them jumpstart their lives and their careers.
I think we need some generous donors to be able to step forward and say, we believe in the Hand Up Cooperative and the great work that you're doing.
We need grant writers, we need fundraisers, we need more caseworkers.
It's about supporting people who have skills and expertise but that are struggling to be able to gather some strength, courage, and confidence to be able to walk into an employer and say, I am the right person for the job and get that job offer.